This time I'm going to show you how to embed a InDesign Pro project in another web page, in a static web page. Yeah. So this is my project, and now let's see how it looks like. So I can start it to build Webpack a bit, and this is a starter project. It's just a template, nothing else, but yeah, it can be an InDesign project or Uni.js project that's already been customized and has a full functionality. Okay, so let's see what we have here. Okay, so this is our project now, right? So how to put that in a different app? So to do that, I will run yarn build. Okay. Okay, just to make it clearer, I'll do that again. Run yarn build. So this will take some time. Okay, so when it is done, you'll see there is a dist folder here. Okay, what is the dist folder here? You can use it to serve this folder as a static website. Okay, so let's try it. I'm going to use HTTP server. Okay. Okay, this is the HTTP server and npm package that we can use. Can run. Okay, what's the default port? Right, the default port is 8080. So if I now go to this page, it will serve this app again. So it's the same app, right? But this time it's served from this folder, this. So let's take for example that we have another app or website that already exists, but we want to put this InDesign Pro app inside of that website or web page. So I'm going to do that. Okay. Let's try embed host. All right. I should have used folder to workspace here. Okay, so this will be the host. So now I'm going to copy the folder here from this to this website. So I'm going to put index.html here. Maybe okay, it's okay. Index.html, and then I'm going to copy all of the dist folder here. Okay, but then instead of using the index.html from dist, I'm going to copy this one first, and then I'm going to change it so that it uses the one from this there. Okay. want to change the paths now. Right. Okay. And now this time I'm going to serve from this new project. Okay, this I'll call it the host project. Okay, so it's still here. So what is the proof that this is a different project? So I can let me change something on this page. So instead of directly root, I can put my own header, for example. Okay, let's see. Okay. And then I put this like my own header. Okay, let's just make it like this. And when I do this, okay, not found. All right. So because it's not yet using the routing. So this seems to be cached, so I'm going to restart the server, but this time there is a switch here to disable caching, so I'm going to try to disable that. C -1, so I hope that works. Yeah. So let's try how this one looks like now. Okay, so as you can see, we have a header here, and we can do something else like add a footer, for example. I'm going to try adding a footer. So as you can see, there is a header and there is a footer. Okay, so there is another problem. As you can see, there are two problems here. First is that we have a layout issue, okay, because it's designed, but the layout issue is more about CSS. Okay, so it's more about CSS. So we just need to tweak the CSS. And the second one is more about the functionality. So if you see here, it's not routing /user/login properly. So this is actually not a problem with the InDesign Pro or React itself. It's because that we are assuming that the server will handle the routing for us. Okay. So first, let's try to solve the first problem, and that is layout. Oh, and also there's another problem is if we want to route it in a subfolder, because usually in our website we will put this app inside of a different folder, not in the root like slash, yeah, not in slash. So let's try solving the layout problem by changing the CSS here. So if you can see here, the problem is because for root we want the height to be 100%. So I would say there are many different ways to solve this problem. Maybe you can set it on a different height or something. This is just one way to solve it. Okay, let's see. Can I solve this using or maybe we can experiment it first for this root. So we have it for like 80%. Does it work? Okay, doesn't seem to be working right now for this one. So maybe can I set it to specific height? Okay. Alright, so this is definitely a CSS issue, yeah. Oh, I see, because this one has a height of 100 vh. So let's see, we set it to 80. So I think from this one, okay. So I think this is a little bit better, yeah, than before. If you wanted to have this header, or you can, you know, remove the height styling for all the components from up. So for example, if I remove this height styling, and if the container inside the app I remove the height styling, then this will become like a normal web page, right? So I can try to change this from this one. Instead of having this, I'll just come this one. So I will see inside this there is a container. So let me see, where is this from? 100 feet each. This one there, but let me try to find it in the original app. Alright, so this is from here. This is from this file here, index.less. So I am going to comment this one. And next, I have to build this original app and then copy the files over. So I'm going to yarn build this one. Okay. Not the host there. So do yarn build here. Okay, so the build is done. So now I'm going to remove this dist and then copy over the new dist. And let's try if this works when I try to refresh. Okay. Okay, it's loading. I wonder why it's loading. Okay, so when I copy over the dist, it seems that the name of the file has changed. So I have to make sure that I'm referring to the proper file. I go to index.html here, and the name of this one, the CSS, probably it also has changed there. Oh no, the CSS is the same, but the JavaScript has changed. Alright, so this one should work, let's see. Okay, let me try disable cache in here. Makes it easier. So if you can see here, there are several errors, especially on the this one is for API, as this is just the React project. There is no API, so yeah, we cannot expect that there is an API there, so that's a normal error. And then another one is that it's trying to load a file from, as you can see, this is from the slash folder. So this is not going to work because our files are in /this folder. So we have to change that. So how do we configure that? So let's try. This is because it's InDesign Pro is using Umi.js. So let's see what's the configuration here. Okay, documentation. All right, so this one. So we will be using .umirc.ts, and then we can change the base, and you can also change the public path, and we will also change the hash and history later. Okay. First, let's use create this file umirc.ts. In our original project we don't have it yet, so because it's the InDesign Pro is already using config.ts, so we will change it here. So the configuration that we are changing is base. Okay, so I'm gonna put base here, and I will change this to /this/. Then I'm going to rebuild my project again. So after I rebuild my project, I can delete my old disk. Then I copy the new one here. Surely this is much easier if I just use the same link, but yeah, just want to illustrate that these are definitely separate projects. And I need to change the file name. Right, and let's see if this time it works. Go. Okay, it still has an error here. Okay, so I have found out that the easiest way to avoid the problem is just to make the index.html in the same folder as the JS file. So let's try the alternative approach. So instead of, okay, wait, I'm just going to change this as before. Now, instead of copying this folder inside of this project, what I will do is I will copy this index.html inside of the dist one. Okay. So this will be my own index.html, and in this case I'm going to change the references, not to use this again. That means when I'm copying the build project, I will need to make sure that I do not overwrite my own index.html. Okay, so I'm going to try this now. Right. Okay, so I'm still trying to find out why I cannot serve from a subfolder, but now I'm going to backtrack and then solve the URL navigation problem first. So that means what I'm going to do is instead of using a subfolder inside this app, I'm going to make it just use the normal base of root. Okay, just using the normal base of root, and then I will build this app. Okay, the app is done, and I'm going to copy the files that needed. Okay, first I'm going to replace everything except my own index.html. So I'm going to copy the dist folder here. I will copy everything except for index.html. So I'm just going to put all these files here, and this time should work normally, right? Okay, just the file is wrong, so I have to fix the file name. To use the new JS file name. Okay, so it's loaded. Oh, and I have to fix this router base so that it uses less. Okay, so at least I have this app running, but then if I refresh this, then it will be error because it's using a complete path instead of hash. So how do we configure it to use hash? So there is a configuration here. So let's just the configuration is here, deployment, and use hash history. So what we have to do is change the configuration to use hash history. I'm going to config, and instead of the usual one, we use history, type is hash. Now I'm going to rebuild this again. Okay, so we have the new app generated. Let me delete everything first except for index.html. Then I'm going to copy everything from this except for index.html. And I have to change the JS file. Right. So let's see if this one works now. Now if you see here, this is using hash, so we can still refresh and should be nothing wrong. Alright. Okay, but the API is not working. Okay, so I think this is good enough, yeah, in the sense that at least now we have it working on the root folder. So I'm embedding and design pro app inside another web page, and I will try to find a solution on how to host that inside another folder. So I will make another video on how to fix that. Thank you.